There's a shift happening at Nintendo, and I first noticed this during the March 27th Nintendo Direct. But even though there were some people that left this presentation kind of disappointed, which, is inevitable because it happens every time, there were three specific things that Nintendo mentioned during the Direct that really stuck out to me. The first thing was right out of the gate, they mentioned how far Nintendo Directs have evolved since the beginning. Which is absolutely true, because up until that point in time, Nintendo has never revealed any hardware during a Direct. Yet, as they reminded us on April 2nd, there will be a focused switch to Direct. Then the other two things were also examples of how far just Nintendo Directs have evolved. Because the two other announcements that weren't quite game announcements was, first of all, the announcement of the new digital game cards so that you can share games with your friends and family. Well, at least to anyone that's in your family plan, for Nintendo Switch Online. And then last but not least, what I personally consider to be the biggest announcement from this Direct, just because of the implications it has, is the new phone app Nintendo Today. Although a lot of people kinda scoffed at the idea of Nintendo making just a dedicated news app, I really feel as though we're watching firsthand Nintendo implement an innovative new way to communicate directly with its most loyal consumers. But this lack of enthusiasm for the app brings me back to 2011 when Nintendo hosted their very first Nintendo Direct. Initially, when fans discovered that Nintendo was opting out of E3 that year, instead opting in for a digital presentation, the fans weren't very happy with that. Then considering how poorly the presentation went, considering the frame rate was on par with a PowerPoint, Nintendo had all the reason to tuck their tail between their legs and back off and just drop the idea, but instead they moved forward with it. They had the vision, so they put in the time, the efforts to hone what a Nintendo Direct was to what it now became. Fast forward to 2025, and now the big competitors, PlayStation and Xbox, tried to make their own version of Nintendo Directs. So then, why did Nintendo think it was so necessary to create this app, and especially now? Is it to replace Nintendo Directs? Unlikely. Instead, I truly believe that Nintendo over the next few years is going to try to build this as their biggest communication channel with their fans. But is all of this honestly really worth it? Is it that necessary to have? After all, Nintendo could just do like the others and just keep using social media to promote their games. But as someone that actually works in marketing, I want to share you my opinion on why I think Nintendo really might be onto something with this. And to keep it simple, I'm just going to talk about Nintendo's two biggest platforms, Twitter and YouTube. Every social media platform has their very own unique thing that make it themselves. But regardless of your platform of choice, you're always at the mercy of the algorithm. For instance, in YouTube's case, you're going on to watch videos. But not every video is going to perform equally. Because when you're on YouTube, you have to play with YouTube's rules. Like every other social media platform, YouTube wants its users to stay on as long as possible. And they've also seen that people have been watching more YouTube on their TVs now than in the past. And what YouTube noticed is that with this increase of people watching YouTube on their TV, is when watching on their TV, they typically watch longer videos for longer periods of time. So because of this, longer videos seem to be performing extra well recently because YouTube has been pushing them to people that are watching on TV. And of course, there's still plenty of other factors that go into whether a video is going to perform well or not, but especially right now, a video like a Nintendo Direct is exactly what YouTube wants to be uploaded and pushed on their platform. But just because that's what YouTube wants, Nintendo also can't necessarily pump out a Nintendo Direct every time they want to make a little announcement. So unfortunately, YouTube can't be used as a main driver for Nintendo communication. But for those in-between times when they just want to do a smaller announcement, Twitter comes into play. Because this is what the main purpose of a platform like Twitter is for. However, at the end of the day, you're still at the mercy of the algorithm. But beyond that, Twitter finds itself in a volatile place. And without going into detail, I don't think it's going to be closing anytime soon, but if things keep going the way they are, it's not impossible to believe that one day that day might come. A platform a lot of people and companies did turn to as a backup is Blue Sky, but that platform in itself still has a long ways to go before it can truly be a replacement. Because at the end of the day, companies use these social platforms because of their reach. And unfortunately for Blue Sky, it's still very new and just simply can't offer the reach that Twitter can. And that's the unfortunate problem with all of these social media platforms. At the end of the day, you never really own your audience. There always seems to be a barrier between you and the person you're trying to reach, whether it be the algorithm or the platform just plain out going belly up. The closest thing you can get to owning your audience is having a mailing list. But even then, what typically happens is these emails end up getting flagged as spam and people don't even get to see them. And that's why I find this app is just so genius. Essentially, they don't have to worry about anything anymore. They don't have to worry about getting swallowed by the algorithm. They don't have to worry about this platform going belly up. They get complete and total control on what they want to show to you, and they can assure that the message gets to you. Because even if you don't go in the app, they can always send a notification to your phone as well. But I really feel like this app is going to go even deeper, and I truly feel like this is simply phase 1 of the app. But before diving into that, I have a short message. If this is your first time here, hey, my name's Acadrien and I post weekly Nintendo videos just like this. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, I would greatly appreciate it if you would simply consider to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go right back into the video. As I was mentioning earlier, I do believe that this app has more than meets the eye. Because at the moment, the app can do 2 things. One, you can of course look at the news and the content that's on the app, but also you can give it a rating of either useful, funny, cool, or cute, and it's just a little poll that you can participate in. Starting with the least crazy or ambitious idea, what happens if Nintendo wants to try to use this almost like an archive? Where whether it be short videos that they create, or even the direct themselves, they can all live within this app, easy for people to have access to. And if they're going to be archiving directs on this app, why not just host them there altogether? I'm not saying that they wouldn't be putting them on YouTube still, but what I'm saying is maybe you can provide a unique viewing experience on the app, one that YouTube just can't provide. Maybe if you view the direct on the app, there could be an interactive feature with it. But let's go one step deeper. What if Nintendo uses this app to have connectivity with some of their other products? For instance, maybe we could earn badges if we did specific things, and these badges could be used on your profile. Or even further, we could have them as our profile pictures on our Switch. There could be a load of different ways Nintendo can make us do in real life things to earn these badges. For instance, it could be something as big as having to go all the way to visit either one of Nintendo's theme parks or their museum where you could get an exclusive badge. Or they could even go as small as even just visiting a Nintendo store or even a GameStop. Plus, we already know that Nintendo will be using this app as part of their marketing leading up to the release of Switch 2, but who's to say that even after the Switch 2 launches, Nintendo doesn't find a way to make this app the perfect companion to the Nintendo Switch 2, bringing new ways to interact with this new device. As you might be able to tell, I'm very excited for this new app, because I really feel like this is a case of ready, fire, aim. Nintendo made the app, then they released it, and now that it's out there, it's time to hone in and perfect it. And that's why I'm so excited to see how this app is going to develop over the next years. But now I want to hear from you. Did you download Nintendo Now? Let me know down in the comments. I would once again like to thank you for watching the video all the way to the end, and if you did enjoy this video, why not check out another one? For whatever reason, YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this one, so try checking out that one next. And until next time, Wadao.